Low energy, unfocused, foggy? You might be dehydrated. Whether it's hot yoga, over 100-degree weather, or too much sun. Gatorlight, with a specialized blend of 5 electrolytes, was scientifically designed to help move fluids into the body faster for rapid rehydration. Shop now at retailers nationwide. Gatorlight hydrates faster than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire, the no-show. Who set you back because they didn't show up on day 1, or day 2, or ever again. And now your product launch is delayed because you're talking to alien abduction podcasters to track them down. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can help make sure your next hire sticks. In fact, businesses who use LinkedIn are 24% less likely to reopen a role in the next 12 months. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coach Unplugged. We're so excited you decided to join us. Make sure you go over and leave those 5-star reviews. If you like this, go over and listen to our other podcasts like the 5-Minute Basketball Coaching Podcast or High School Hoops or Funnel Down Defense or Coaching Youth Hoops or whatever one of the 7 in our network that you would like to listen to. But before we jump in, I'd like to give a big shout out to our 2 sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the #1 shooting machine on the market. They are always, what I love about Dr. Dish is they're always innovating. They're always making that a little bit better, and that's why I think they're the best machine out there. Like I've said before, we own 3 of them, and I would not be talking about them every day if I did not believe in them. Mention Coach Unplugged, they'll give you $450 off, and they'll give you A1 customer service. And then also what helps keep the lights on, what helps keep everything moving is teachhoops.com. It's for coaches who want to get better. It is a one-stop shop by a basketball coach for a basketball coach. I'm always working with my team 365 days a year, working on making us better. And I want to do the same thing for you. I'm giving you resources, one-on-one calls, office hours, a roadmap per se that will help you become a better coach. And we offer a 14-day free trial because I believe you should come in and kick the tires around and see if it's right for you. If it's not, that's fine. But I guarantee that you're going to love it. All right, let's head off to the podcast. All right, welcome to Coach Unplugged. So I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, and then I'm gonna let you tell everybody that you have 8,000 state championships in comparison to my 3. So I'm gonna feel very inferior today, but that's good. We're gonna get some great golden nuggets. So I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you introduce yourself. Then I'm gonna have you say, just tell us about your basketball journey. Where it started, kind of where you got to the point where you are. And how many years have you been coaching?
I just finished my 50th.
That's 50. Yes.
50.
50. That, just so everybody heard that, 50 years coaching. They should put up a monument to you, Coach. To be honest, maybe they can do it that long. All right, so go ahead, introduce yourself, and just tell the people a little bit about yourself.
My name is AC McCullers. I am the girls basketball coach right now at Strong Rock Christian School in Locust Grove, Georgia. As just stated, good Lord's blessed me. I've just finished 50 years of coaching girls. I've also coached football and girls basketball at the same time, but not in the past few years. I also have coached in college for about 7 years, but I have experienced a lot of enjoyment since my first girls basketball team, which I coached in 1968. The first girls game I saw was the one I coached, and it was a lot of changes have taken place since then. As I mentioned, we have been very fortunate through the years. We have 4 state championships and 3 state runner-ups in the state of Georgia. And it's been quite a journey, and been blessed to enjoy those years coaching girls basketball.
So tell me a little bit about your practices. I like to always delve into other coaches' practice.
My practice, well, I teach it whole part whole. When I start something, I like my players to see what it's going to look like. I give them the whole picture first of, like, if we're working on defense, I want to show them exactly what I'm looking for, and then I'll take each one of the whole parts and make out my own drills for the next couple of 2 or 3 weeks of practice preseason, and then we'll go back and go whole and do it live, semi-live, and situational like that. But I don't scrimmage a lot. I do more teaching and doing breakdowns and things of that nature. And when we practice, my philosophy of basketball was shaped back in the beginning. If you remember, I coached my first basketball game in 1968. And
Yes.
that was when in the state of Georgia, we played 3-on-3.
No, it was like,
Yeah.
no, that was like Iowa women's played that for a long time.
Right. There was lawsuits that kept saying that Iowa girls and women could not, that played high school basketball were being cheated because they couldn't get scholarships because of the 3-on-3. Well, in Georgia, it was 3-on-3 where you took it out at half court after you made a basket. And then from there, the next step in that was we went rover, where you had 2 girls that went up and down the court. So you really you went to 4-on-4, and that was about a 3 or 4 year experience until they went to 5-on-5. So that really helped me develop my philosophy because of basketball and taking what we learned. You have to figure out how you're going to play. If you're a zone, you could either 1-2 zone, or you could run a 2-1 zone, or you could run a combination of both. So you take those principles, and it helped me develop my own ideas about how I want to play defense. And I really, through the years, have evolved my own style of defensive play from that. But with the rover and all the ideals, it helped also shape my thoughts on how I want to run offense. I base my whole offense and my whole defense on the triangles, and most every basketball coach does too. You gotta defeat the triangles of basketball and know where they're at to be successful, in my opinion, of how we do it. And that's how I base my defense, how we go with. And
it's really a 3-man. It's really a 2 or 3 man game. The game is really simple. It is a 2 or 3 man game for the most part. The other 2 are not. And for the people that were listening, that because we probably have a lot of youngsters out here, what used to happen in some states was they would play. You would play 3-on-3 on each end of the court. It'd be 3 offensive girls, 3 defensive girls, and then they would. That's all. You would just be an offensive player or a defensive player. You would not cross half court.
Right.
So you basically had 2 groups. So maybe these 3 girls were really good offensively. They would be on the offensive end, and these 3 girls were really good on defense. They would only play defense the whole game. So for people that don't know, because Coach and I are old enough to remember that, but there might be some youngsters out there that are think we're talking about,
We're talking about, what are these guys talking about?
Right. Yeah. They have no idea. All right. If you could go back to yourself as a younger coach, so let's go back to the 70s, late 60s. What would you tell yourself? Would you give yourself any advice?
I would give myself the advice of, when you go to clinics, the first thing I speak to a lot of middle school coaches, when you go to a clinic, you need to take notes with an open mind and take down and pick out things that you can use within your philosophy. Therefore, you need to develop your own philosophy about or what style you like to play. If you played high school ball yourself, how did you like to play? And then you need to learn everything you can learn about that, because eventually, if you go to clinic and you try to write all the stuff down, you're going to get back and try to put some of that in. Invariably, you miss some key points about that. So you need to take things that you can put in your own way of thinking and be able to take great ideas from somebody else, because there's no secrets in basketball.
No.
You just need to take it from somebody else and see if I can use that and adapt it or turn it into my own way of running an offense or a defense. So that's what I tell them. And by virtue of doing that, it helps if you have to teach in a classroom. I don't know, Coach, if you teach in a classroom. I'm sure you do.
I do. I'm a math teacher for 30 years. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you have to be a teacher. Well, coaching is nothing more than teaching. You can't assume that those players know anything. You got to teach it to them from the basics. And once they get the basic, they go to the next step. You can't come in and solve a complicated trigonometry problem without knowing some basis for it. Well, that's how I teach it. I tell anybody, if you're going to coach in high school, you're going to coach, period. You got to be a teacher. And being in the classroom helps that. So that in itself would be when you go into the clinics, and at the Legends Clinic, Coach has done a great job of promoting basketball down there and teaching, and he's brought it. I was there for the first one, and he's done a great job with that. And I'm sure there'll be some great coaches down there. I'm looking forward to talking to you, because I'm not too old to learn yet. I'll learn something every time I go to a clinic.
And you and I are old enough that we learned this lesson the hard way. You know, I'd go to a clinic and then I'd hear these things and then I'd try to implement it. And then I go to the next clinic and I'd hear what I tell coaches, and especially the young ones, is you have to come up with your own philosophy with your team or your community. But then when you go to these clinics, go find some golden nuggets. That's what I refer to them. I refer them as golden nuggets. Like, when you speak, I'll probably find one or two little, that's interesting. Let me see if I can do something with that. I'm not going to erase 20 years of experience and say I'm not going to do all this stuff. No, but I'm going to take this one little piece here, and I'm going to take, that's how I've become the coach I have. You know, I've taken all these experiences I've had from all these other coaches I've coached with, and I've taken pieces, and it's become my philosophy. I think they all try to become Coach K or Coach, Gino, or, no, be yourself, but find that niche, find that thing that's going to work for you and your community. And that's when you do that, that's when you'll be successful, is my opinion.
You're exactly right. I mean, that's why, I go back sometimes and I have all my stuff categorized in file cabinets now, computers, but I still have, I'm a guy that writes it down in notebooks.
Yeah.
Or something here, and I put it, and I go back and put it in files, and I've got it categorized each year, and go back and pull something out, and I say, this looks good. And then I sit there and I say, well, I don't have the personnel to run it this year. And that's the next step. You may like an offense, but if your kids can't adapt to what it takes to run that offense, it's not going to work.
Right. Right. You have to be willing to adjust. If you'd have seen my team 12 years ago and now you saw my team 3 years ago, you wouldn't think I'm the same coach. Well, one team I could get up and down the court. I would love to get up and down the court. Every team. I would love more. But then 3 years ago, we were a good team, but we didn't have the ability to go. We were a possession team. So it's like, well, that's how we can win. You have to adjust to the people you have.
Exactly.
How do you practice plan?
How do I practice plan?
Yeah. How do you get ready for practices? Like, how do you?
Okay. You mean how do I get my players ready for practice?
How do you prepare? Like, for other coaches that are listening. Like, do you do it the night before? Do you go back to old practice? How do you get your lesson, quote unquote, air quotes?
There are certain things we're going to do every day.
Okay.
There are certain things we're going to do every day. And what we're going to do every day is what is going to beat us the quickest in a ball game. And what we do every day is things that we know we're going to see every time we go out on the floor.
Okay.
Now, the first thing we work on, and this may seem odd, but the first thing I like to work on when we start preseason practice is our press break.
Me too, Coach. We get pressed all the time.
Well, I see so many teams that turn it over and it turns into a layup. Well, you better know how to beat a press. Now, sometimes I believe in a press. Sometimes we do. Sometimes we don't, based on what you've got. Thing. But I have a setup. I'm in a specific way that I like to beat a press, and I like to beat it with a pass, not necessarily a dribble. And we work on it every day. I want the ball inbounds, well, then you can get it out of bounds and inbound 25 and 6 seconds. Therefore, you take away, a chance for them to get into the press after a made basket. Now, after free throws, the dead ball is, you set up, but you don't have time to. So we got to work on that. Those are things that we work on that. Now, we're going to shoot a lot. I've changed my philosophy on free throws. We do different kinds of competitive free throw drills.
Yeah, we do too.
To keep their interest, because so many games, to me, after breaking tapes down so many times, it comes down to basically losing ball game, 3 things. And that is, they're not stressed. We miss layups, we miss free throws, and turnovers. Those are the 3 things that beat us quicker than anything.
Yep. So say that again so the coaches can hear that again. The 3 things you think. I agree.
Turnovers, missed free throws, and layups.
Yep.
And most people spend they do layups. They just get out there in 2 lines to dribble down there and shoot layups, which is not game type situation. Every drill you do should be game like, so that you they've done game speed. So
we don't do layup. We do very little layup lines now to start for our warm up. Either. No, we don't do it. We come out. We do one. We just do it to kind of run onto the court and start, and then we're done. Because you never shoot a layup like that in a game ever.
No, you don't. The most of the layups, you think about it, most of the layups are missed because they don't know where the angles on the floor are, and they go right down the middle of the floor, and they get down the bucket and have to reach out and swing around and try to get it up on the glass.
Right.
So we work a lot on the angles of the floor where I want them to go with, because the way we run our patterns, which is another set in itself, I have one set. I run everything in my offense in. It's zone, man, but everything's run out of one set. Therefore, all my drills are based on those sets and so forth. So we do a lot of free throw shooting. We do a lot of different stuff. Now, through the years, when we got the gun, we've adopted a lot of drills that we use with the gun off of so we can make it more lifelike on the other end, get it off the gun and go another way with some pressure going down the floor where it's more game-like. And then, of course, the turnovers have to do with bad passes, and most of the time that's against pressure. What kills me the most is seeing my guards, they get in a hurry, and ultimately they're going to dribble right to the half court, right there in the corner between half court and sideline. They're going to get trapped.
Yeah.
So we work an awful lot of times keeping out. That's no man's land, and they don't get in there. And we do a lot of drills to keep out of there.
Right.
So
especially for the young coaches, I think you have to, for practice planning, I think you have to ask the question, why? Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Why are you running a 3-man weave? Really, what does that do for you in a game? If you're running, if your offense is based on a 3-man weave, then go right ahead and do it. But I think a lot of coaches don't ask the question, why? Why am I doing this?
Well, a lot of people, there's a lot of things they can understand. A lot of people spend several, 5, 6, 7 minutes a day working on a jump ball tip to start the ball game. Why spend 10 minutes working on something that you do one time a game?
Right.
So,
and my theory is I am the poster child for the jump ball being eliminated. There's no reason for us to have a jump ball. I think the visiting team should get the ball to start the game at half court, and let's go. Why do we jump it? No one practices it. No one does it. Well,
because the pros still do it, and they think that we got high school kids, we got to be like the pros, you know that. But But far as practice planning, some people wait till the last period of the day, and then they got to hurry and write something down, and then they may not get, and they go out there. But you need to have that practice plan itemized every minute of the practice, and you don't keep on saying, well, let's do it one more time. Let's do it one more time. Let's do it one more time. If you don't get it done in that time, you come back and do it another. I also affirm the believer when if I say we're going to practice for 2 hours, when that 2 hours is up, we blow the horn, and we go home. So the kids know that that's how long the practice is going to be. Therefore, that means it's very strict about if we start at 6, then you're going to be on the floor with your shoes tied, ready to go at 6 o'clock. That's when we're going to start. Now, I know that's old-fashioned. That's old-fashioned, but I'm old-fashioned myself.
No, I don't think that's old-fashioned. I think that's precise. I think precision is part of the game, and the more precise you are, the better off you're going to be, or more effective you're going to be doing everything. I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want my kids to be able to execute without having to think about what they're going to do.
Hey, everybody, if you like the podcast, make sure you subscribe, leave a review, jump up and down, run around your house, whatever you need to do. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Have a great day.
The hustle doesn't stop in NBA 2K27. Every game is an opportunity to master your skills.
You can't guard me!
To put defenders on skates with your bag of crossovers. And show off your limitless range. Chase greatness around the clock in NBA 2K27. Ball over everything.
NFL football season is here, which means when you switch to Verizon, it feels like touchdown. Because you get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube on us when you buy an eligible 5G phone on select unlimited plans, which means you can watch every out-of-market game every Sunday afternoon. And it's all on us. Now that's the Verizon way to kick off the NFL football season right. Switch and get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube on us, only with Verizon.